All right, ladies and gentlemen, with all that's going on, we can't forget, it's important not to forget what's going on or not going on with immigration and where we're headed along those lines. Joining us now is Congressman Mo Brooks, House Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committee member. Hello, Congressman.
Hi, Steve.
Always great to talk to you, sir. Appreciate it. You made some news recently when you kind of jokingly said that the illegal immigrant who was at the State of the Union, maybe someone should have made a citizen's arrest. But I got to tell you, it's just another example of Obama in your face by bringing and noting that he brought an illegal immigrant to the State of the Union.
Well, it's quite remarkable that our chief law enforcement officer, which is one of the hats that the President of the United States wears, so freely ignores enforcement of the laws designed to protect America's security and borders.
No, it really is. But I mean, where are we headed? I mean, when the Congress funded before the new Congress came in, everything the president wanted in his omnibus bill, the going theme was, don't worry, we'll stop them next time around. But does this Republican leadership have it within them to stop Obama on his immigration executive order, or are they going to capitulate to the extent that they're going to pass a full-scale immigration reform bill?
To date, the House and Senate Republican leadership has not shown that they're willing to do what it takes to secure America's borders. They have talked the talk, but not walked the walk. I'm cautiously optimistic that they will also walk the walk, and we'll find out in the ensuing days, weeks, or months whether their avowed strategy that they enunciated back in November, December will work. I'm one of those that does not believe that the holding of funding for Department of Homeland Security is going to force the president to obey established immigration law. To me, the best option is one that does not rely on Barack Obama's consent to have a successful result, and that's to litigate. That's what courts are for. Federal courts repeatedly have resolved disputes between the Congress and the executive branch, and in this instance, we need a declaration from a federal court as to whether the president's executive amnesty complies with the law or violates the law. And if it violates the law, we need a federal court order mandating that the president obey the law. And if the president persists in his reckless conduct, then we need a contempt citation. And by way of history, not even Richard Nixon was willing to take on the federal courts when they issued their orders. He was not willing to incur the wrath that comes with a contempt citation with potential fines and jail time. Well, and ultimately, that's the kind of power a federal court has to force the President of the United States to obey our immigration laws.
You did say, with all due respect, Congressman, ultimately, and the president's only in office for another 2 years or less. I'm counting the days, believe me. It's less than 2 years. So is this even a realistic approach, considering it could take longer than that for anything to come to fruition?
Slowly but surely, the House leadership is coming around to the lawsuit approach. We're using it with Obamacare. We've got two issues. One is standing. Do you have the right to make this kind of argument in court? And then the second part is, well, is your argument right or wrong on the merits? Is the president unconstitutionally giving amnesty to illegal aliens? And yes, it may take time, but bear in mind, we're going to have a president after this president. And we need to establish very quickly whether Congress has the kind of standing necessary to litigate these contests between the executive branch and Congress in a court of law, and then get that behind us. And if so, then for all future endeavors, whether it be a Democrat Congress and a Republican president, or a Republican Congress and a Democrat president, that law will be established, and hopefully it will be established with respect to separation of powers, enabling the Congress to force presidents who are lawless to obey the law. So this thing is not just a battle between Republican Congress today and Barack Obama today. If we're successful, this ruling would shake the balance of power for decades or centuries to come.
Very, very interesting take on it, one that I haven't heard expressed quite as coherently and educationally as well. Congressman, great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Steve.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Congressman Mo Brooks, ladies and gentlemen, a Republican from the great state of Alabama, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And I haven't heard it expressed that way. I mean, the criticism has been, well, Obama's going to be out of office, and the congressman put it in terms that it makes a lot more sense that way. All right, we're going to talk some Super Bowl with Jared Max next. Don't go away.